Hello, my name is Bert. I'm okay, and welcome back to Gizzmas 2025, Day 4, Bandcamp Edition. Come along with me as we continue our journey through the Bandcamp discography of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Today, we're starting our first foray into psychedelic music with Float Along, Fill Your Lungs. That's right, our first foray into psychedelic Giz brings us back to the 27th of September 2013. We'll be spinning 8 tracks that clock in at 41 minutes 54 seconds, so let's sit back and enjoy the ride. This album opens with the monstrous 16-minute epic Head On Pill. This track takes the idea of a drug trip and makes it sound like it's gone horribly, horribly wrong. With heavily Eastern-inspired instrumentation in the background and Stu's haunting vocals carrying over the opening part that is Head On, which is the slower, more low-key part, the lyrics in this part seem to cover a previous drug trip that might just be ending now. The low-energy part quickly gives way to a slowly building up higher energy as the character in the song takes the wrong pill, as he says multiple times. Slowly, the energy and tempo of the song picks up and all the instrumentation gets faster, looser, and kind of goes a little bit crazy. To the point where there's a synth noise that's actually just screaming in your ears. I didn't write this part in the script, but this part actually played one time when my wife came in the car and she said, "What the fuck is that noise?" and made me turn it off. After the first crescendo, everything kind of mellows out a little bit, but then it just quickly picks back up and gets explosive and insane again. With the guitars squealing and everything kind of just sounding like maybe a bit of a car crash, it tries to mellow out again, but then explodes again before the end of the song just kind of slowly fades out. This song to me is just so dancey and fun and energetic that I love every time it comes on, and it doesn't feel like 16 minutes to me, it just flies by. Also, just as a reminder, that's about half of the length of the album, so yeah, this song fucking rocks. The rest of the tracks on the album kind of follow the similar vibe of lower key and then higher energy, to a lesser extent. Case in point, the next 2 tracks on the album, I Am Not a Man Unless I Have a Woman and God Is Calling, are the former being more 60s psychedelic blues rock cut with lyrics about loving a woman, and the latter being a higher energy punkish kind of track with distorted guitars and even a wailing outro. Those 2 tracks are followed up by the more psychedelic 30 Past 7 and then the 3-track run of Let Me Mind the Past, Mystery Jack, and Pop in My Step, all of which are more bluesy, rocky type vibes, with crunchy guitars and echoey soulful vocalizations throughout all 3 tracks. All of which leads up to the final track and title track of the album, Float Along, Fill Your Lungs. This song is very similar to the head-on part of the opening track, but somehow the energy is even more contained and relaxed. In fact, a majority of the song is outro, where it just picks off one instrument at a time and slows the tempo down, starts off barely noticeable, and then by the end you just have some blissful instrumentation that carry you off into the end of the album. I think this album's sound is awesome, and if you were to ask me where Giz's identity really started, I'd say it's this album. At least in my opinion, so much of what made them unique started here. But as always, let me know what your favorite track on the album is. With all that being said, I have been Bert. I hope you've been okay, and join me tomorrow for Day 5 of Gizmas 2025 as we move on to Oddments.